forecast. This forecast is for the week of the 6th of April, 2025. We had an interesting trading week last week with the Trump tariffs, worldwide tariffs, which sent the markets tumbling on from Wednesday afternoon all the way into Friday. Some persons would have made a lot of money and others might have lost a lot of money. Trading as a result of Trump's presidency has been very difficult to predict, but adjustments have to be made because as long as the markets exist, there will be winners and there will be losers. All right, so let's get right into it. What are my predictions for this week? So let's start off with the Euro USD. Now, I expect the Euro USD to keep going higher because I expect the US dollar to keep tumbling. I expect the US dollar to sell off a little bit more. So I expect this week for us to test these highs here. We're currently sitting at a level of support where resistance is now acting as support. So this is the weekly chart. Let's break it down to the daily chart. So this is our daily chart here. What was formerly resistance is now acting as support. So what I expect to happen is that price is going to meander here a while and then continue selling to the upside until it gets to this point here. And I expect pretty much the same for the GBP USD. All right. Not quite a clear area of support and resistance as it appears in the Euro USD. But nevertheless, I expect the same thing to happen. I expect price to buy off of this area because you can see we have a nice trend line that has formed, and then price to play around in this area a little bit, then just continue on to the upside. Maybe get all the way to the top here, but I expect it to come at least at this level, 1.32587. So Euro USD, GBP USD, that's what I expect for them. My next pair I'm looking at is the USD CAD. Now let's take a look at the weekly. So price is in an obvious downtrend. It's a bear market for the US dollar, USD CAD. We got a little bit of a pullback on Friday, but we didn't break this resistance point and we didn't break the trend line. So I expect price to continue downwards if we take a look at the 4-hour candle. So we already have our reversal candles there. I expect maybe one or two more reversal candles, who knows? But ultimately, I expect price to sell down, at least to this point, maybe all the way back down to this point over the entire week. But I strongly believe that this is a sell. All right? So that's our USD CAD. So GBP USD, Euro USD are all buys, but the USD CAD is a sell. GBP CAD. Oh, this is a nice movement. Nice movement. Price sold off nicely. So we're officially in a bearish market for the GBP CAD. I expect that to continue. I expect for price to sell all the way down to this level, to this support level, which is the 1.81655. And why am I so confident about that? Well, just look here. This is our support. price not only broke through, but broke and closed significantly past this level. All right. So what I'm expecting here now is for price to do a little bit of a retest on the area and then just continue downwards. And I expect pretty much the same for the Euro CAD, even though the Euro CAD isn't as nice and neat looking as the GBP CAD. So you can see here, let me get these off of the screen so it's a little bit more apparent. Price tried on many different occasions to break this level. It didn't. It didn't even break and close above this level. So we had one attempt, we wicked out, price sold down to this area, rejected, tried to go up to the upside again, wasn't able to do so. With all the momentum from Trump's tariff, wasn't able to do so. Price wicked out. That's on the weekly. On the daily, you get to see it more clearly. Price went all the way to the top, rejected. Massive rejection candle, sold down. Price tried to make a move once again to the upside, sold down. Wasn't able to break and close above the level. So I'm expecting now that price is going to, at the very least, come back to this trend line, break the trend line, and sell, I'm hoping, all the way down to this level. All right? So that's my prediction or my forecast for this upcoming week. If it doesn't complete all the way here for the upcoming week, I expect within the next 2 weeks, this is what price will do. The GBP USD already, Euro GBP. Now, Euro GBP, we saw some momentum off of Trump's tariffs. Euro GBP making a massive move to the upside. This trend line was initially here, but price broke that trend line. So we readjusted, and now it's here. So price is at the trend line. Last time it was here was August 2024. And it's touching a resistance zone, which was also a significant area of support. So I expect massive momentum to occur in order for price to break through this. And I don't think we're going to get that momentum this week. If it didn't break through with everything that was happening on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I don't think it's going to happen this week either. So the next best thing that to happen is either price stays at the area or price sells off. All right? Because this here is confluence. You have support, which is now resistance, and you have a trend line that has been respected for quite some time. The initial trend line was broken through, thanks to Trump and his tariffs, but we weren't able to break this trend line, which is even more respect. Price hardly ever comes to this area. The last time it came was in August 2024, and then prior to that, it was November 2023. So price doesn't usually come in this area. So that's why I'm expecting price to sell down, at least to this level here. All right. And the last set of pairs, the GBP NZD, GBP AUD. Now, this has been on a massive bull run since February 2023, even prior to that. All right. We broke daily highs. We're in weekly highs now. And there's news coming this week for further rate cuts to the New Zealand dollar, which is also going to affect the Australian dollar. And thanks to sanctions and tariffs based from Trump, because he's upset about the tariffs placed on US beef that the Australians don't want to purchase, they don't want to take into their country. That kind of sunk the New Zealand and the Australian dollar, leading to this massive bullish run of the GBP NZD, and also the same thing for the GBP AUD. So you can see these two, they're quite similar in their movements. What I expect to happen is that we're going to get a little bit of a pullback. We might pull back a little further to this trend line, but ultimately we're going to continue going to the upside. That's what I believe, especially with those rate cuts in the upcoming week. I expect more movement to the upside. We might get a little bit of sell-off, but the rate cuts, even if the rate cuts doesn't do it, the fact that the tariffs are in place should cause this market to go to the upside. Same is true for the GBP NZ, GBP AUD. I'm believing the same for the Euro NZD and the Euro AUD. These four markets have a tendency to trade very similarly. But so those are my predictions, my forecast for this upcoming week of trading. Be careful out there. The markets are very volatile and you can't stay in a trade for as long as we used to. We need to be in the market as short a period as possible because momentum changes very rapidly. And what was once a winning trade in a matter of minutes can become a losing trade. So as soon as you get the opportunity, move your stop loss into break even or even into profits, and don't take long trades. Stay in the market for a short period, make your money, leave. Fewer the trades you make, the more money you make. More trades you make, the more opportunities you have at losing money. All right, good. So that's it for this video. That's it for this week. I hope you made it through to the end. Like the channel, like the video, subscribe, tell your friends, share the videos to your friends.